Hello everyone. Now I want you to take a look at some images. This one, oh this one is nice, and this is pretty cool, right? So these were all images taken with the Fuji X-T5, my latest camera choice. 40 megapixels of digital loveliness. If you want to take pictures like those, you could if you own this camera. I say go out and buy it. But of course, you don't have to use this camera to take these kind of image results. No, you could get a brand new Nikon or a Canon, or how about the latest Sony? Any modern digital camera would get you similar results. And I bet you own one of those cameras, or you're about to buy a new one. If you are, you're no doubt reading the reviews, you're watching the YouTube videos, and you're contemplating upgrading your old camera to a shiny new one. And that's because to take images like these, you're going to need to splash the cash. You need a better camera, a decent camera. Or do you? Well, that's what I want to discuss in this video. But first, let me give you a letter and a number. E and 6. Now put them together. But just what is E6? Well, E6 is my subscription. E6 is what my experience as a photographer for the last 25 years or so has become. E6 is where I reveal all that knowledge. This YouTube channel is just a hint of that. E6 is where I release all my best content. E6 prevents me having to become yet just another YouTuber. E6 allows me to do these videos without sponsors, and that's important to me. So if you don't want to watch me trying to flog you a website or a place to sell your used gear online, plus get access to some feature-packed content, then check out E6 using the link below in the description. Thank you for your support. So I think there are two types of photographer. Those who feel they need a brand new model, the latest release, and those that don't. I bet I know which one takes the better pictures. One is probably investing their time into improving their pictures with the camera they currently have, whilst the other is instead spending their money trying to improve their pictures with the latest model. Why do I need this camera? Well, to get images like this, of course, taken on the London Underground, and this was actually used double-page spread in a magazine. That's the beauty of having a modern 40 megapixel sensor, eh? Or this one, or this. This is what a modern digital camera is capable of. Except that all those images, all the ones I've shown you so far, weren't taken with this camera. I lied. Sorry about that. No, they were actually taken with this one, the Panasonic GF1, with its 12 megapixel, old style 12 megapixel MFT sensor, a camera released in 2009. Did that surprise you? So, if you're the type of photographer who, when they see an amazing image on Instagram or wherever, asks the photographer, the first question you ask is, what camera did you use to take that? Or what lens was used? If that's the case, then you're asking the wrong questions. If you'd also ask, what aperture or shutter speed did you use? Then again, you're asking the wrong questions. And if you did ask that, and they told you it was taken with a Panasonic GF1, like this one, like I have, would you then go out and buy yourself one? Of course not. What you really want them to say is that they're using the same camera you own. You'd like them to justify your own purchase. If you need to know what aperture a photographer used for a particularly stunning picture, then you're not experimenting enough yourself to find out this way instead. Instead of asking, why not go out with your camera and try different aperture settings or shutter speeds, etc. yourself and find out how they got the effect you like, rather than just asking. That's how I learned. By all means, admire a picture. Be inspired by a picture, but don't set out to copy it or want to get the same result. Do as that photographer no doubt did and learn which settings or which lens creates that result simply by trial and error and the learning experience from that. Be that type of photographer. Now, as a former Olympus shooter, I was interested to see what the new OM Systems camera was going to be. Sadly, it was not a new Pen F. It was the new OM3, a new model which disappointed me, as it doesn't have a new sensor or even a flip-up style LCD screen. Why are they fixated with fully articulating screens? They even made it look like an original OM3. A great camera of its time, but despite lovely to look at, that camera and most film cameras were not very ergonomic, so why try to copy the look? Why are camera makers obsessed with the retro look? Stop trying to blur the lines between film and digital and just keep it separate. I still own a Micro Four Thirds camera, this one, and I still own a newer one, the EM1 Mark II. This model has been updated and improved 3 or 4 times now, but I don't need that. That latest new model won't make me a better photographer. I know this camera inside out, and any new one I would no doubt struggle with for a while whilst I got used to it. So I've gone back to shooting with this camera now and again, simply for, well, its simplicity. Because to be honest, I'm getting bored of modern technology and what that is trying to offer me. So what can you do with the new OM3, for instance, that you can't with the GF1? No, honestly. Live Grad? Well, I've got a Live Grad right here. High-res multi-shot mode. So okay, I can use the Adobe Super Resolution feature if I need that, which I never really do. And that high-res mode is on my current EM1 Mark II, and I never use it on that either. No viewfinder? Yeah, well, I'll give you that, but I've got a built-in flash. The latest processor, you say? Well, that's only there to run all the new features that I don't really need. This one even has a built-in grip. The OM3 hasn't. Image quality is not as good as the newer model, but still good enough. Good enough for me, good enough to show you the results in a video where I show you my work, and you can judge if I'm worthy or not to watch my next video. This camera may be classed as slow by modern standards, but is it actually working at the perfect speed for you? Does it match your speed as you learn and progress? A slow camera then will no doubt slow you down. Fantastic, just what you need. Slow you down so you think and you learn. Until all the techniques, all the basics are mastered, a new camera is of no use to you. I've said this before, but I just feel every new camera release is taking us further and further away from what real photography is. The basics will never change, and using those basics will always get you the shot. Upping the features just ups the price, makes us spend more on our photography with very little gain. Photography, after all, is an art form, but it's in danger of slowly just becoming something our cameras can do. So I say, instead of buying a new camera, consider buying an old one. See what that can do for your photography. The only thing that needs to improve is you or me, not the camera. I'll see you next time.